What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Genesis Coupe Build Series episode 6. We're ready to work on the Genesis Coupe. Last episode we found out the engine needs a rebuild. So long story short, I'm taking it to a machine shop. I just don't got the time or the materials, and there's something else I want to show you guys. There's zero room in here. Absolutely zero. Like, I can barely walk around in here. May not look like it, but that's the case. So the engine and the heads are going to a machine shop. They're gonna get properly built. Good guy doing it. So while that is gone though, we can bust this car out, okay? So I wanted to get this done by midsummer. We're gonna try to stick to that. So while the engine and stuff is gone, we're gonna just prep as much stuff as we can for it. And we're gonna be using that foam board. It's actually insulation, but the booty of the Genesis Coupe. So I went through quite the trunk variations over the years. No, this is not nitrous, by the way. I wish it was, but it's not nitrous. It is air ride. So I need to pretty much create a trunk setup to where I like everything. And let me tell you guys, I have a plan, and if it goes to plan, which usually it never does, but if it does, this is going to be one crazy trunk setup. I'm not trying to say like SEMA level quality, but the first thing we got to do before we start building the trunk is obviously taking all the old stuff out and the evap canister. Okay, we don't need that anymore. What are we gonna need an evap canister for? I'm not sure. All right, this is what we're looking at right here. This is the plate covering it, I believe, and I believe this hose is actually a part of it too. So we're gonna pull this plate up. I actually don't know exactly what all we're taking out, so we're gonna have to just take a look-sees first and figure it out along the way. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Huh. Okay. As we fully deleted the evap system, we got random pieces here. We got the charcoal canister. I did delete there's two things on it. I think one was like an actual valve and one was just a sensor, pressure sensor. We deleted all that and took the wires back the farthest we could, and we're just gonna cap them off there and call it a day. So now that all that is out, there's one last thing we have to do. Obviously the fuel tank is going to need vented. There's two lines, I believe, that we can connect together and pretty much utilize as a vent. There's a little Lowe's run. We got a fitting to connect to the stock hose, and then I actually cut this off of the evap canister because this clicks into the line, and it's pretty much just gonna sit in here like this, and it'll be a vent. So pretty easy, not bad. Ladies and gents, the new vent tube is now in. You can see I connected the new tube to the old one, and I actually utilized the same fitting as well, and it's all good. Honestly, a very simple thing to do, but the evap system is completely gone. Vent tube is in, cover is gonna go back on, and it is trunk time, baby. Let's go. All right, so that wraps up the evap delete. That is taken care of. The wires we did cut for the sensors and stuff on that, we still need to cap off. We gotta make sure we do that, but like I said, it is trunk time. So we got the pieces laid out. If you guys remember, I said I was gonna use this foam to try to lay flat in the trunk, and then we're gonna just put everything on top. It might sound weird right now, but we'll see if we can get it to work. This is the factory trunk thing, so I trace it out so that we can get a template. I also forgot about this. So this is the factory piece that goes right on the front. This is where the vent hose is. And there's some other things that make this uneven, but this thing is obviously made for the car. So this will actually sit down on it flush, and then we can put this on top. So it is gonna be raised a lot more than factory, but we're gonna see how she looks. We're not even gonna need to use this trunk anymore. We're not getting groceries or anything. Although maybe we are, who knows. But as far as making a custom trunk goes, in those terms, this is probably not the best way to do it, but I had like a little idea in my head. We usually wing it here. I'm gonna wing it guy, and then it usually ends up working out, so we're gonna cross our fingers and hope we can make something cool out of this. I think it'll work well. We're gonna go ahead and cut that piece, fit it in there, cut that piece out, fit that in there, and see how we're looking then. There's gonna be a lot of foam piece cutting and trimming, so it's not gonna be a fun time, but we're gonna get it done. All right, guys, I know I've talked a lot, probably way too much this video, but this is something I want to say. This video did not come out the way I wanted it to. I'm sorry for how it did. I've been working on this trunk and just getting this car ready for so long now. It's been like 4 weeks on this one video, and there was so much work that I had to put the camera down and just start grinding and get stuff done and then pick it back up and try to explain what I've done. It was kind of hard, so I'm sorry about that. The next part 2 will be way easier because most of the hard work is actually done already, so it's just going to be putting it together. So for the rest of the video, we're just going to go around the car. I also do want to show you guys this. The transmission has the bell housing on. I got the bell housing put on, not the whole way, but we're getting the trans ready to drop in too, obviously when the engine and heads come back from the machine shop. So let's get back to grinding on the trunk. After a lot of trimming and just kind of throwing everything in here, we kind of have a first look of what we're going to deal with here. We are nowhere close to being done, but you know, it's kind of cool to see it. I don't think it looks too bad. Now, obviously, without explanation, you guys know we are not in the final stages of this. I'm actually going to put these back in. We got some more things done. Both amps are now in. They are not fastened down. We're actually just going to double stick tape them to the trunk, and you're probably thinking that's not going to hold, but it'll hold. All the amps are actually wired up now, again, how they were originally, and the speaker wire is run, and the speakers are going to be installed in the back seat part right here. I actually wanted to do them this way, but obviously you can tell where the problem lies there. I don't think we have enough room to do that, so we're gonna have to probably mount them this way. I'm gonna order a spacer that sits in between here, and it'll basically just space this out enough that way the speaker doesn't have any interference. We're jumping into week number 4, I think, on this freaking trunk build. It's been a while since I started this. Let me show you guys where we're at because I did a lot of stuff off camera and it's just been such a hectic, busy week that it was hard to keep up with. So let me show you guys what we're working with. You guys a sneak peek. I bought some cool seats and they're gonna go in the car then. So definitely stay tuned for that video. I'm gonna just make that its own because this is going to take a while yet. But this is where the trunk is right now. Now, I did cut out everything. Everything is fitted in. These are actually all glued together. I left the middle out because the air lines are gonna come up right there. What I was looking at is actually mounting the tank on the back right here. The only issue is the stock sub. So that is exactly what we're gonna do now, is take that out, but I'm not gonna be deleting it. If you guys remember correctly, I said I was gonna take apart the back seat, which I actually already did, so I gotta look at that. And I'm gonna put the subs I used to have in the sub box in the trunk into the back seat and then just put the panel on. So I'm going to try and locate the 8-inch sub right there with the 212. So it's just gonna be a wall of subs in the back seat. I already know it's gonna rattle a lot, at least I'm sure it will. The only issue I'm running into is figuring out how exactly I wanna do this because this is not something commonly done. And I don't really know. I have a couple ideas and one of them involves carbon fiber. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do have a couple other good ideas that I think will look sick. We're in the interior now. We're gonna work on getting the 8-inch sub out. I do wanna say too, I'm gonna have to trim all this back up. So unfortunately I gotta tear the whole trunk back apart, which actually isn't that bad now that everything's kind of glued together and fit in. But I'm gonna have to trim that up. And of course, the stock 8-inch sub speaker cover couldn't just come right off, no. It's part of the rear deck lid. So we gotta take off the whole top, which means I gotta take off the side pieces, loosen all the screws for these pieces. So it's gonna be a fun one. We have finally made it to the subwoofer. Now I did get a little sidetracked, I will say. You don't have to take all this apart to get to it, but the speaker cover is actually part of this, so still had to get that out, which is actually a good bit of work. I did delete a couple things. I'm deleting the rear seat stuff, obviously because the rear seat is not going back in. Rear seat belts, I'm gonna delete those soon. I deleted all the bottom pieces. What else? Airbags, maybe. I'm kind of just going through, figuring out what everything is. If we need it, keeping it. If we don't, ditching it. I'm also seeing how all the wiring to the trunk is going, so I'm gonna reroute that to make it even better, which is kind of good. So we're kind of just really going all out here. Let's take a look at this interior right now. It's literally basically fully gutted, like so close. The dash is not gonna come out. I don't think we need to take the dash out. We might end up doing it though, who knows? I don't know how, I mean, we'll see. I think that is where I'm gonna call this video today. We did get the wooden trunk basically done, the foam done. We got a good bit done on the trunk. I'm letting my friend borrow my manifold and we still have to mount the tank and mount all the speakers and do all that still. So unfortunately, there's gonna have to be a part 2 on this trunk build. This video has taken 3 weeks. It's taken too long. There's still a whole lot more that needs done, so there will be a part 2 on the trunk build. And as you can see, the entire interior is stripped out of the car, so I'm gonna be making a video soon about pretty much redoing the entire car's wiring. We're gonna be wiring on our own stuff, taking out a lot of the stuff we won't need, etc., so stay tuned for that. That's where I'm gonna end off this video. It was kind of trunk build, kind of whatever it was, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.